Hi, I'm Jack Kohler from Oakland Parks and Rec. Today I will be teaching you how to prepare and cook the perfect egg. This will be one part of a course that I'm teaching about basic cooking skills over the 2 to 3 week teaching period that Oakland Parks and Rec allows me. Let's cook. These are all the ingredients that you will need to make the perfect egg. Butter to grease the pan, milk, it can be any type of milk. I prefer 2%. It says Spanish saffron, but this is pepper, salt, and of course an egg. The other things that you will be needing are a medium-sized pan, depending on how many eggs you use, a fork, and a bowl to mix all of the ingredients together. Before we start, we should talk about safety. Always, before everything you're cooking, no matter what, you want to wash your hands with soap and water. I suggest singing happy birthday at least once, and then you'll be ready to cook anything. Also, eggs are filled, they're not filled, they have salmonella in them, so be extra cautious while using eggs. Do not eat them raw, and pretty self-explanatory. So first we're gonna start by cracking the egg in the bowl. You always want to crack the egg on a flat surface so the shell doesn't get in the egg and eventually in the bowl. So we want to go like that. You want to do it pretty hard. Do you see how there's the cracks right there? And you want to dig your fingers into it and open slowly over there, and there you go. You always want to throw this in the trash or the compost if you have some, and if you have the shell in the bowl, the easiest way to do it is take one part of the shell and just fish it out with the shell, because the shell attracts the little shell particles that are in the bowl. After you crack the egg, you want to wash your hands again because salmonella and everything. Then you want to put about a pinch of black pepper, a pinch of salt, and I eyeball it, but about a teaspoon of milk, just to make it creamy. About that much. Then you want to beat the eggs with a fork. A lot of people use a whisk. I don't prefer using a whisk just because the egg whites get on the whisk and it's harder to take off. When you're beating with the fork, it's much easier to take it off because of the little prongs. And you want to beat it in a circular motion, as so. I suggest tilting the bowl just so you get more of a beating area, and it should look something like this when you're finished beating. Depending on how many eggs and how much milk you put in, it would be lighter or darker, but it all comes out the same. You want to mix it a little bit more. Then after that, you want to take your pan and you want to put a generous amount of butter on the pan. That's roughly how much you want to put it on. and you want to put that on the stove. Okay, so when you put the you want to put the burner on your stove on high, right? As you see, there's a big flame. You always want to be careful around the stove because it's hot and you can get burned. And it hurts a lot. Yeah. So you want to melt the butter down, the butter that we had in there. As you can see, this is, I didn't actually put enough butter to spread around the whole pan. So I suggest using a little bit more butter, but this should work for me anyways. And you want to get the pan super hot before you put all the eggs in. As you can see, the butter's bubbling, which is a good sign. And you should wait for about 2 or 3 minutes with the burner on high to get it hot enough to put the eggs in. So there we go. As you can see, it is quite hot from the browning of the butter. You don't want it to get super brown, just a little bit caramelized. As you can see, there's still some white parts over here. Then you want to turn off the burner so that there's no flame. And you want to take your eggs and put it right into the thing. And you want to just spread it around. So it goes like that. Now you want to put the burner on extremely low. You want it to put it very low and take a spatula. I suggest using a metal one, but plastic also works, and you just want to fold. Just move it around. And the object of it is to not get the eggs brown. Also, eggs don't take very long to cook. It takes maybe 2 to 3 minutes tops. Yeah. More or less. As you can see, they're already cooking very well. Depending on how you like them, I like them a little bit harder, which means that they are a little bit more dry. They are a little bit more brown, but there's some people who like it just like this and can eat it right off of the pan, where they're a little bit runnier. And at the end, you want to put a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper just to solidify the flavor of the eggs. 1 and 2. And then you want to mix it around a little bit more. And here we go. Over here. As you can see, it's a little brown. That's how I like it. But if you wanted to have it a little bit more runnier and not as brown, you would have taken it off while I was doing the salt and pepper. And then put it on a plate and enjoy. Let's check this. Okay, here we go. And it's pretty easy to take it off the plate. You hold the pan in one hand. Yeah. And then you want to take your spatula and scrape it down over the little lip and onto the plate. And if you buttered it right, if you had enough butter, there shouldn't be anything in the bottom of the pan, as you can see. And on the sides, you want to get all that. That's the good part. Now you want to turn off the burner. And after you cook, always after you cook, you want to clean everything that you have used. Everything. You're going to want to clean the bowl. You're going to want to clean the fork and the pan, the spatula, everything.